Welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined as always by my brother and co-host for episode 143, Angel. What's up, man?
Hello, how are you, Joseph? How are you? Good.
Feeling a little under the weather.
A little under the weather. I'm sensing it.
Hopped up on coffee and cleared it.
Yeah, that's how adults get shit done.
Yeah. Watch the kids all day by myself.
Hey, you know what? You're just being a man today. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well,
You're toughing through. This is your flu game.
I complained to my wife quite a bit as soon as she walked through the door.
Babe, thank God you're back.
Today's episode, we're going to get into the latest news from around the league. A certain story buzzing in San Francisco. We'll let you know what we think and what we've heard about that. And, of course, continuing our preview of each division. Today, the AFC East. Oh, very different than it was a couple years ago. Over at the producer's desk, registered Packer owner, Gabe Tovar, and 6'5" on a good day, AJ Woodson.
What up?
How you doing, boys?
Good. Vibes are a little off today. I'm looking forward to the show though. Let's get it happening.
It's warm. I had a lizard die in here, and so it stinks a little bit.
There was about 50 flies in here when we walked in.
Someone burned incense. You burned incense?
Angel did.
That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, Gabe.
I wasn't going to take the blame for it.
But no, it's going to be a good show. There's a lot going on in the NFL. There's preseason games going on as we speak. New England up 7-0 on Carolina. Drake May, 2 for 3, 19 yards in his debut.
Tearing it up.
And then the Giants, fresh off their Hard Knocks debut, or not debut, the debut of the offseason Hard Knocks, featuring the Giants, up 14-3 on the Detroit Lions. You have to think in a regular season that score flips dramatically.
Yeah.
28 days until week 1 of the Ravens and Chiefs, September 5th.
So close.
Under 30 days now. It's going to be good times. So much going on in the NFL. Before we do that, do some housekeeping here. If you're new to the channel, watching here on YouTube, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on notifications, all those things. Welcome to all the new people. What are we at now? 581 as of this show. So welcome to all you new subscribers, a couple hundred over the summer, and we can't wait to go through another NFL season with all of you. Yeah. And a lot of conversations going on.
A lot, yeah.
Angel had a pretty hard take on Brock Purdy, and the people let him know about it.
I forgot the guy's name. I had a pretty intense conversation.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how the conversation ended.
But we're gonna be positive about this.
Yeah.
Okay? Back there on the board, at Aaron Campbell, 4481.
Yeah.
You're the homie.
Yeah, you're the homie.
Shout out to you,
what
man.
What up, AA Ron?
Yeah. Just a nice, decent comment.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Sometimes those are really make your day, especially if you get ripped for your Brock Purdy take.
The group chat blew up after you showed that comment.
I was getting.
You guys really got to Angel today
because I handled the TikTok, so I see all the comments like these guys hate me, but like and subscribe.
Angel, would you call me at midday?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a lot of arguments today. I'm like, what is going on? This whole TikTok thing's going on.
Yeah. Most of it was pretty just like standard football chat.
Yeah.
One guy was pretty intense, so I got intense.
Well, here's what we have to understand as a show. We are shit talkers. Yeah. That's what this show is.
Yeah.
We're just shit talkers, and that's how we love to talk about the NFL.
Yeah.
That's how we enjoy it. And so we're gonna get the fair amount back, and we're ready for it. We like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we lose our cool, but it is what it is.
And then you just block the guy. So that guy's blocked, whatever the guy's name was.
Awesome, Angel.
Our first block.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, welcome to the audio version of the Bench NFL podcast. And on that note, I did want to announce we have officially joined the Fans First Sports Network.
Hey.
Good times with that. A lot of our compadres now covering the NFL across the country. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, we're kind of banding with a group of guys who also love football. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool when you just combine forces like this.
Yeah, what it means to you is only that we'll be able to get some amazing people on here who are following their teams very closely to get some better information. All of our audio streams will be found still on the same platforms, exactly where you found them for the last year plus now. Nothing really changes on that end other than some quality guests.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to really seeing the depth of people we can get on here and how quickly we can piss them off. It's like, awesome. Why does Brock Purdy suck?
I honestly, I'll believe until like the day I die. Our first guest, Angel, thoroughly pissed him off because he kept calling, his name was Danny. Yeah. And Angel kept calling him Danny Boy. Like, first of all, he's probably your age.
No, he was younger.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's
exactly young.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have better luck with these new round of guests. Make sure you follow the show Between the Show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Bench Show. to follow us on all those different platforms. Like we said, a lot going on, especially conversation, videos, highlights, clips from the show, announcements from the show, all those different things. Of course, check out benchshow.com and make sure you sign up for the weekly Bench Report. Got a handful of you right now. You'll be getting free content every week in your email box. And then, of course, that is also the way to sign up for the Benchwarmers Fantasy Football League.
Oh, boy.
So make sure you sign up there as well. We got a handful of those guys as well. Going to be a good time. Looks like a couple leagues this year, boys.
Yeah, all right.
So it'll be a good time doing that. And, of course, the Bench Beat. Articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. We got a brand new article up there about Greg's favorite over-unders as far as team wins this year. Good read. Make sure you go check that out.
Yeah.
That's all the housekeeping I have today, boys. To open the show today, I wanted to go near the heart here. Something that's going to be close to me and AJ alike. There are many fans who go their entire life without seeing their team win a championship.
It's tough. That's
right?
a tough
Their entire life. You think of the Cubs, those 90, 100 years or whatever it was.
Some people never even saw it. Yep.
Gabe, the Packers have never won it in the history of their organization. Have never won.
No, actually, you think about Cowboy fans and Niner fans. They haven't won it since the 90s.
Literally.
Some kids are,
yeah. Obviously being sarcastic, Packers.
I was going to say, how do the Packers fit in this?
Have a handful of championships. Yeah. But all that to say, AJ and I can thank one man.
Oh, yeah.
For bringing us a championship in our lifetime. Spoiled 2017, the Super Bowl champion Eagles were led by an unlikely hero.
Say his nickname first.
Big Dick Nick Foles, baby. Nick Foles has retired from the NFL after 11 seasons. Thank you, Nick.
Hey, Nick, dude. The best nickname for a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Big Dick Nick.
It just, can't you see everyone in Philly's out calling that too? Like even the children?
Yeah. Big Dick Nick.
Can you sign this?
Yeah,
Big
he's
Dick?
never buying a beer. He's a legend. He's basically Rocky Balboa because he led them to a championship over Tom Brady. Good for you, dude.
The most unlikely of heroes. And it happened in Philly, which is kind of like the underdog town.
I mean, they're going to do a movie about that,
Not just
right?
that either, but like one of the most memorable Super Bowl plays of all time.
Oh,
yeah.
All
Philly
time.
special.
Philly special will
Philly,
go down
Philly.
in history.
I mean, there's a statue outside the practice facility of Doug Peterson calling the play.
Yeah, just iconic moment. The beginning of the end.
Are you
The
serious?
beginning of the end for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, poor Carson. He hates that play.
I saw a video recently of Carson crying in the locker room after they won the Super Bowl because Nick did it.
And that's not why he was crying.
I mean,
He was on his way to an MVP.
No, he wasn't happy crying. He was like sulking crying.
No, I'll never get to play.
And he was right. He never got to play for that.
Never to play, but
no, congratulations to Nick Foles, man. You're awesome. The last couple years obviously have been rough. Older, couldn't really move at all.
No.
But I'll always remember that run. You'll always be a legend to Philly and Philly fans like myself.
Yeah.
We salute you,
yeah.
Nick Foles. All right, boys, let's get to the news. All right, man, let's get into the news. An early favorite for stupidest quote of the day goes to Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry.
He says at a press conference here, because he's still giving press conferences at spring training, just like all the owners.
Yeah.
You know, all the owners. Just
we see all the owners coming out there giving full interviews.
about personnel.
they're not even there. Like, what?
God.
Come on, dude.
Jerry Jones, speaking when asked about the contract talks with CeeDee Lamb and whether or not he has urgency, and I quote, "I do not have any urgency to get it done."
That's good, Jerry.
So thanks, Jerry. Even to make matters worse, CeeDee Lamb saw this, quote tweeted it, and simply said "LOL," which is that's how you know it's getting petty.
Yeah.
When it's just an LOL.
Yeah. LOL.
So going really well in Dallas.
I don't know why you would say this. Just say you're trying your hardest to get it done. Even if it's not, don't say like that makes your fans think that you just don't care about it. That sucks, dude. That's CeeDee
I
Lamb.
don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to like.
God.
Yeah, there's so much to say, but I don't want to assume that I know what he's trying to communicate, but it sounds like you're gonna move at my timing, man.
Yep. I was just about to say.
I'm not feeling pressure at all.
That's the whole
It's not
thing.
working.
The whole thing of this was I'm the boss, you're not the boss. And it's like you're gonna piss off your star receiver. I can't stand Jerry Jones. I'll just say it right now. And that's one of the dumbest things
His
I've
fans
seen.
are openly boycotting
Yeah.
training camp.
Yeah. And
they're
I don't
boycotting
blame him.
training camp.
I don't blame him. That's stupid.
And say what you will about Cowboy fans. As an Eagle fan, obviously I don't love Cowboy fans, even though my brother is one. They love
up,
their
Dave?
team, and they're so loyal.
Yeah.
And they'll spend all sorts of money.
Yeah.
And honestly, as one fan said it in our video, that in our interviews, the fans deserve better than this.
Yeah.
They deserve their star player. They deserve You're the richest organization in American sports, not just football, in American sports. Go pay your guy.
I think it finally took this many years. I think it won one in the 90s. It finally took this long for Cowboys fans to finally realize, like, Jerry Jones is kind of full of shit. Because I think every time this has happened in the last couple of years, it's been dramatic with signing people. Like, why? See, Dak, maybe I get it, maybe. But CeeDee Lamb is like, why would you even hesitate? Sign him immediately. It's just getting more expensive. You look more dumb. Yeah. And CeeDee Lamb's now getting pissed off. Why? Look what's happening in San Francisco with, don't wait. It doesn't help to wait. Why would you not?
100% Aiyuk's going to have a contract before CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. Because, what's the hesitation? That's my thing. I know there's money, but, like, you're the Cowboys one.
It's ego. This is all that's all this is, and it pisses me off.
He's doing business like it's 1985. And we know what he was doing back in 1985.
Yeah. What's up to his to that daughter,
Stephanie?
Stephanie.
What's sad? What's sad is that it looks like it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah,
like it looks like you're bluff. Like who's he bluffing? Like I'll tear this down.
Right.
Like bro, it's your team.
It's your team. You're paying the consequence.
Yeah,
I'm gonna blow it up. All right.
You think Dak? Someone's gonna pay Dak anyway.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna pay Dak. Someone's gonna pay Lamb. Someone's gonna all these guys. What an idiot!
I don't know what you think. Like these guys aren't gonna get paid somewhere else.
You know what stinks though is that the Cowboys still have control over CeeDee Lamb for like 2 years because they just tag him twice. Yeah. That kind of sucks for CeeDee Lamb.
I think the only way to do it now is just CeeDee Lamb to eat the fines and just he's already earned so much money and just bank on the fact that I'm gonna earn money and make it back in the future.
Yeah.
And just not give in. Go CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you were the best receiver in the NFL last year.
Yeah, and he deserves to be paid as such. He should deserve at least 35 should be the starting point. That's probably why Jerry Jones hates it because like I'm gonna have to make this guy the highest paid wideout. Yeah, because he's one of the probably not the best if not the best wideout in the league. So weird quote. Why would you even say this? Just just lie.
Stop giving me interviews.
Right there in camp too. Like everyone's there, dude.
Like what?
How do you? I don't know how Big Mike does this. How do you coach?
Mike McCarthy? I don't know. That's why they can never hold a coach for long because like Jerry Jones just.
This is why I just rolled my eyes when people are like, "Was Belichick going to go to Dallas?" Not a chance in hell.
No way.
You think Belichick's putting up with this?
Because Belichick's all about keeping things quiet, and Jerry Jones having full-on interviews
Jerry
right
Jones
now.
got 8 microphones in his face.
Yeah, like I want to tell you everything about everything. You don't have to.
Wow.
You don't have to.
All right, let's move on here to L.A. Chargers' new head coach Jim Harbaugh has been given a 1-season suspension if he ever returns to college coaching. Or a 4-year show cause order by the NCAA for COVID recruiting violations. Okay, unrelated to the sign stealing allegations. Okay, so Jim Harbaugh, you've been a naughty boy.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You definitely did all the shit that. And no wonder why you went to the Chargers. I get it.
It feels like college football has just been this dirty, slimy business.
And now they're kind of cleaning up a little bit. Someone's going to the NFL. Yeah.
He won in the end. He's going to make a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Live in L.A.
And I don't think he'll ever return to college football now because what's the point? Like, what's the point? Like, I won a championship with Michigan. His alma mater. Why? Yeah, so shout out to Harbaugh there. He makes some money. Look at his goofy smile.
And honestly, screw the NCAA. They suck anyway. So
yeah, dude.
No problem with that. You're going to like this one, Ange. The Titans are launching a dedicated fan section in their future stadium called, quote, the Mosh Pit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Access to seats by the live stage, dedicated invitations to events, yada, 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 yada. This new Titan Stadium is looking like it's going to be lit.
Oh, Nashville's pretty lit.
Yeah, remember, this was the same stadium that didn't have that big open bar at the top of the stadium.
This is
not even watching the game.
This is a pretty decent vibe in that stadium. Hey, you don't go watch the game. Just get drunk. That's all they're saying.
Looks like I found the stadium. We need to go to
we're
location.
Live from Nashville, live from Tennessee. Not Nashville. I don't know why Nashville's in my head.
Nashville, Tennessee. That's why.
No. It's not in Nashville though, is it?
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it's in
sorry.
Nashville. It's the only city in Tennessee.
No, because usually they do it says San Francisco 49ers, but it's in Santa Clara. So I didn't know if it's actually in Nashville.
Okay, this is for JB and everyone else who was mad at Caleb Williams for not playing the Hall of Fame game.
Here we go.
Bears' #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, will make his debut on Saturday against the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen also playing. So we're going to see Josh Allen and Caleb Williams on Saturday.
Can you believe that, guys? Stars are playing. That's awesome.
I mean, the Chiefs are going to play the entire quarter. their starters.
Andy Reid has always been my starters going to play, and they need to. And look at Andy Reid. His team's won championships, and wonder why.
We'll see Caleb Williams though, and that'll be fun.
Are you looking for anything specific? Or
I was just thinking of that right now. No, I mean, it'd be cool to see him complete a couple passes.
Yeah,
and maybe a touchdown drive and get out.
It's gonna be the most basic offense. Just runs, play action to the fullback.
I don't know if the full complement receivers will be there with him.
No, I wouldn't try it out. DJ Moore.
Well, you got to imagine DJ Moore and Keenan Allen could be out there.
No,
you
but
might see Odunze.
Yeah, Rome probably for me he'd play the whole quarter. Yeah, Rome go out there.
Okay, we are gonna get a couple preseason debuts here in the first week of the NFL preseason. I guess technically second week, because Hall of Fame is the first.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We saw Drake May tonight. Like I said, very limited, just threw 3 passes. We'll see Jaden Daniels. We're going to see him against the Jets on Saturday.
That's fun.
That should be a good time. Of course, I just said Caleb Williams. J.J. McCarthy will play on Saturday, so I think that's the one that I want to see the most. So I haven't seen this kid do much because he didn't do much in Michigan. So I want to see him in this Vikings offense, which seems like it can't be any more opposite than what he did in Michigan.
And has like a bunch of bad luck going for it right now with the Jordan Addison stuff and Hawkinson coming back from injury. It's a bunch of stuff. So I'm like, McCarthy would probably be the top one.
Yeah. Then we'll see Bo Nix on Sunday against the Colts, and that's also be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
So, look, we're going to see the rookies. It'll be fun.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels will be fun, too, because as what I've read on Twitter, he didn't practice well against the Jets because they were doing joint practices, and they play on Saturday. So that apparently didn't go very well. So looking forward to seeing it on the field, the bright lights, maybe plays a little different. Yeah. We don't talk about this guy. Number 2 pick, Heisman winner. Just don't talk about him.
Well, his stock's up, man. I mean, other teams facing him are talking big about him.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner said today that's going to be a dude.
Yeah.
He's going to be a problem. And I think that, to me, speaks the loudest when your opposition, because these training camp battles get heated. We've seen several fights.
Did you see
DK almost kill his teammate?
Did you see what was happening during the interview? Throw the whole helmet.
Yeah.
DK.
So I think when the opposition has that to say about you, especially a defensive back, I think that means something. So be
fun weekend for the NFL too. 5 new quarterbacks. Everyone's gonna watch it. Good. That's pretty good numbers viewing wise. I'm gonna watch all of them.
I spent my first $6.99 on NFL games.
Yep, because you need to watch
NFL Plus for the preseason.
Because they're on the most obscure networks watching these preseason games.
Yep. So already going down that rabbit hole.
I mean, that's just what the NFL has us by the gonads. They know we could charge them anything they want. These psychos will pay for it.
I'm trying to prolong it. The Packers are on prime time the first week, so it's like I can wait till week 2 to play it.
I can put off.
I gotta wait for money aside. I gotta wait for a check to come through.
What is the Packers opening?
Eagles.
Yeah, Doy.
Friday night, Brazil.
In Brazil. Let's go.
You know what's cool too is when you wait like that, they start offering like deals.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll wait it out. The first quarter of the season, I think you get like $100 off.
There you go.
Jeez,
but you're not going to see the first weeks of Jordan Love. So.
I'll be at your house.
Broncos All-Pro safety Justin Simmons is visiting the Saints a couple days ago. It says today, but a couple days ago, first confirmed visit since being a free agent. Nothing happened after the visit, so we'll see what happened. What happens with him going forward. It must be the number, or he's not healthy. Because
what are you waiting for?
Tracy Walker got signed by the Niners.
Yeah, a lot of
safeties in particular are getting signed.
Yeah, later on, but still they're getting signed. It's weird. Maybe his numbers he just wants too much. He did have a slight decline last year, but not enough to justify not being signed. Yeah. Like Jamal Adams was signed before him. He's better than Jamal Adams.
I mean, what is he like personality wise?
He's been a captain. No, he's been a captain of the Broncos for the last 5 years.
Why don't the Broncos want?
We signed. I'm blanking out now. We signed the Dolphin safety because we're in a rebuild. He's 30. He's 30 years old, so he doesn't fit our rebuild.
Well, Simmons' watch continues. Let's move on to New York.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Mike Williams has been activated off the PUP list. Mike Williams, one of those guys that we forgot was signed with the new team. Could be. Listen, if he stays healthy, obviously that's the thing with him.
Could be right back on the PUP.
Yeah. Could be right back on the PUP.
Don't get too comfortable, man. Keep those papers. Keep that pen out.
Listen, he's been a productive receiver since he entered the league. Obviously, the health thing is. Yeah. We're joking about it for a reason. It's been there every year of his career so far, but. He's shown what he can do in this league, and I think he's a nice fit with Garrett Wilson because Garrett Wilson's not that big of a guy, and now you get a true kind of X receiver who can hopefully stretch the field for you. I like his fit there. I think he's good next to Lazard and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think and like I said, they didn't have that big body wideout, and he's a downfield threat too. So just keep him healthy. I don't think they drafted Xavier Gibson, right? They still have Alan Lazard. So I don't think he needs to be a full-time starter anymore. Just put him in third down. Put him in. Don't kind of be careful with where you use him because when he's healthy, he's a game changer. So
absolutely. And
Aaron Rodgers will learn how to use. He's very good wideout. Just injuries just followed him his entire career.
Yeah, think Aaron Rodgers and MVS, right?
Yeah, that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
MVS made Aaron Rodgers clearly.
Right. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers too was.
And MVS also made Josh Allen.
MVPs.
Yeah. So why isn't MVS on this team? That's what I'm wondering.
Colts wide receiver Josh Downs suffered a high ankle sprain during practice. Outlook right now is that Downs could miss about a month. Tough break for the Colts. Kind of a team that wants to hit the ground running here. Kind of an underdog, sexy pick as this season approaches. Of course, a lot of that has to do with their second-year quarterback, Anthony Richardson, and the weapons around him. Sucks to see Josh Downs go down, but it looks like he'll be back early in the season.
Yeah, but
Tricky.
I wish he didn't have this so early because it takes a long time to get 100% back from a high ankle sprain. It's so. But lucky enough, they drafted Adnai Mitchell, so you might see him maybe faster than the Colts wanted to. So that's nice.
Yeah, and they might even let Alec Pierce play.
Yeah, they hate that guy
for some reason. It does get worse though. It can get worse. The Falcons wide receiver Rondale Moore, who was carted off of practice yesterday, suffered a season-ending knee injury. Per Mike Garofalo. Rondale Moore, of course, came over in the offseason from the Arizona Cardinals, and I think had a real role to play in an offense that I think he got an upgrade as far as quarterback in a passing sense. And I think they got him for a reason. It seemed like they had a role for him, and I was so excited to see him in this offense.
Yeah, he was part of the new guys coming in. They signed Mooney out of Chicago, and they got him straight up for Desmond Ridder because that's how the NFL works. That's crazy. That deal happened. No, but he was part of the nice little rebuild, and this sucks because we never actually got to see him work with a good quarterback, or not for a long period of time where he actually has playing time. So this would have been nice, but this sucks. They didn't say what it is, right? They just said a knee injury.
Knee injury, and you imagine a guy like that who's built on quickness.
Yeah, this sucks.
Built on burst.
Yeah.
This is a heavy blow for him. So hopefully he gets back and healthy next year.
And man, get back, dude.
And we'll see it.
Yeah.
Chiefs and kicker Harrison Butker have
yeah.
agreed on a 4-year, $25 million extension, making him the NFL's highest-paid kicker. Per multiple reports, a nice payday for Butker, who has been in Kansas City since 2017. He has won 3 Super Bowls. He has hit 197 out of 221 field goals, 89%, and has set an NFL record with a 57-yard field goal in the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Harrison Butker.
People hate this guy. Some people do not like Harrison Butker.
You know why this is just, I guess, to get off football a little bit. You know what this is encouraging to me? Cancel culture's done.
It's over.
If this guy can't get canceled, he tried to get canceled.
Yeah, he said this in like a college, right? In a college setting where there's a bunch of certain people who think a certain way. I won't even say it.
He brought the fight to them.
Yeah, I'm going to their turf. I'm gonna say my shit, and he did. Yeah. And the outcome, highest paid kicker in NFL history.
Good for you.
Good for you, bro. Man, the Chiefs have 2.
I saw Morgan Wallen rocking his jersey on the way into a concert.
Shout out to Morgan Wallen. He's on the wall, right? Yeah. So the Chiefs have 2 controversial players, and they're the punter and the kicker. Because the kicker was the guy who got canceled last year.
You mean the punter?
No, what's his name?
Ariza? Matt
yeah.
Ariza?
Oh.
Yeah, he's the punter. So the Chiefs,
Wow.
low-key, don't give a shit if you what you do off the field. If you play football,
I saw that guy kick a 75-yard punt in the air.
He's in a...
Not roll to 75 yards. 75 yards in the air.
The Chiefs rolled that signing right into the offseason.
Yep.
We're you don't even know what happened. And now he's going to have...
Just like that, we were the best punter in the league.
He kicks a ball 75 yards. What can your guy do?
Congrats, Harrison Butker. We need to get him up on the wall.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I mean, there's enough jerseys on the wall already. Maybe over there at the...
We could probably squeeze him in over here.
Yeah, Harrison...
Gabe's having a giant mural.
This is Gabe's boy. If you take this Harrison Butker.
It's not going to be a jersey. It's going to be a picture of him at that speech. with the cap and gown.
Shout out to Harrison Butker. Good for you,
Take
man.
that feminism.
Jeez, we were so good.
Why can't we be subtle on
People
this show?
of a certain group was what we were
people
saying.
a certain mindset in life.
We can't be subtle. That's the problem with our show right now.
Here we go.
What happened last show where I was trying to hint at something and Angel's like, Oh, sex.
yeah,
Angel's
he
like,
said
yeah,
something.
balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
That does sound like me. Okay, move on.
Anyways, moving on here. Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has officially been charged with a misdemeanor DUI. This is when he got super high and fell asleep at the airport in his car.
Smoke weed every day.
That's nice. That's new.
That's pretty quick.
Addison could face up to 3-game suspension from the NFL. That's like the standard for a DUI. So he almost assuredly will serve that suspension.
Yeah.
If convicted, though, he could face up to 6 months in jail. He won't serve a single day.
No,
in
he
jail.
won't.
No, he won't.
He will get probably 5 games if they charge him for it. So maybe a little more extended. But
I would say, isn't the NFL a little bit more harsh than the actual like?
It's
legal
like
system?
standard DUI. First time is 3. It's like almost every time.
Yeah.
So he'll have
Not a great start to his career. Back-to-back summers of driving vehicles.
Hire a driver, dude.
That's what it's hire a driver. Dude, you're a millionaire.
I mean, he's kind of lucky that he didn't actually get punished last time. Because if this was
Yeah.
his second punishment, then it's like, okay,
maybe
you're
it will be
6
higher
games.
because it's the second time. Oh,
Maybe,
maybe.
yeah.
The team might even get him a driver at this point.
Oh, the team might
The team-
extend the suspension.
Yeah, the team should suspend him 6 games. Like, we don't really need him anyway. Like, because Jason McCarthy's not going to be ready.
So let's
get on the good graces of Roger.
We look good. he learns his lesson. Yeah. Shout out to those cops who found this guy knocked out in the freeway.
At the airport where there's a cop every 8 feet.
He's like, bro, that's Jordan Addison. Jordan!
I wonder if he's
Sign my gun.
If
Right
he's on
here.
your fantasy team, are you like contemplating maybe just driving him home, tucking him in, not saying a word?
Oh, you're saying if you roll up on him and you see him.
It's like, wait a minute, I need this guy week
I'm
1.
going to take care of this myself.
I don't know. I think you might be able to do that.
It's against the law.
All right, let's get into the it's against the law. Let's get into the news of the day. And it's Brandon Aiyuk. This is the drama of the hour.
Of the offseason, literally. It's been long.
Let me do my best to recap what has happened in the last 48 to 72 hours.
Really is that one.
They gave Aiyuk finally the permission to go and seek a contract extension with a team that he could possibly be traded to. That is what's going to hold up this whole thing right now, is that he doesn't have a no-trade clause, which is typically what people have when they hold so much leverage, but he does have the ability to say, I don't want to re-sign there, which would greatly hinder the negotiating power of a team that wants to trade for him. Or, sorry, the 49ers wanted to trade him away. And so it came out, Adam Schefter reported, Steelers and Niners have re-engaged in conversations regarding Brandon Aiyuk. He says, as of Monday night, the Niners-Steelers talks have stalled, but there are further conversations today in an ever-fluid situation and still involves other teams as well. Those other teams that were reportedly interested are the Cleveland Browns, and we heard a little bit of Amari Cooper action there, and the New England Patriots. Heard a little bit of Kendrick Bourne. Yeah. A couple other teams are floating there. The Raiders were floating in there, stuff like that. But those are the 3 teams for the most part. Then a couple hours passed, and we found out that the Patriots had actually offered him huge money, $32 million a year, and Aiyuk just straight up said, I don't want to play in New England.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad look, especially because if you remember, Calvin really did the same thing this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
So now they have been just said no to. Literally at the most clear path to a number 1 receiver job.
Yeah, there's no one else there who's
New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And you're getting your money. Come on,
And
man.
you're getting your money. They just don't want to go there.
That's crazy.
That must be just a...
Maybe build a dome.
Yeah, maybe they want to play in 12-degree weather.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they won't be measured against the last 20 years of greatness.
Yeah, it's that sucks for New England. They've tried. No one wants to go there, and they can't draft a wideout. So they're in the weird. They should have drafted Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay, so after a couple hours of all this drama, it kind of came full circle back to the Steelers, where Steelers and Niners re-engaged in talks. When it got to this point, I thought, okay.
Yeah, here we go.
They've already kind of like washed their hands of each other. They went out to see what else is there. Nothing else was obviously there, and they're back together. They're committed to see something work. This is Matt Miyako. I can't with his names. Matt Miyako. Sorry, bro, if that's not it. But with NBC, he says the fact that the Steelers are in talks with the Niners toward a possible Aiyuk trade shows all sides have the willingness to get something done. Negotiations and conversations continue. Okay, so then I thought maybe last night we're gonna get a Aiyuk to Steelers. Everyone was waiting for it. Steeler fans are going nuts on Twitter right now.
That seemed like the best that was going to happen. Like, of all the chances at which team it's going to be Pittsburgh, because then Mike Tomlin has some kind of crafty way of saying, oh, like, West Coast hasn't waken up yet. So they're talking with the Niners, and then white noise, nothing.
So Dan Orsini said about 5 hours ago, the Niners at this point haven't been satisfied with the Steelers' offers and would like a receiver in return for Aiyuk as part of a trade, although they're open to other players as well. So that's kind of where it is now. It seems like where we are is that they agreed on the money. Whatever the extension money is, the Steelers are going to pay him. They've agreed. They just haven't agreed on what the Niners are going to get back yet.
Compensation for a player of his magnitude.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, the Niners are going to want someone they can win now with. That's the problem with trading Aiyuk, is that you're in a Super Bowl window right now.
Yeah.
And so there's not much there with the Steelers.
No.
At least offensively.
No, because you don't trade George Pickens. You don't trade George Pickens because
no way.
No, and then the rest of the
Roman. Just for everyone, why do you not trade George Pickens?
Just because he's a cost-controlled young asset who's everyone thinks he's about to ascend to another level.
Yeah.
He basically just the money really because he's a cheap player who might play at an elite level. You just don't do that. That would make no sense.
There has been rumors that they want Freiermuth. We'll see if that's the case, which I don't know. Maybe you do that because you did draft Darnell Washington last year. Maybe that's the guy who steps in his second year. But we'll see. It kind of seems that's where we are right now. Literally news might break while we're filming this show. But we're just kind of waiting. I did see, though, a New England reporter basically say it's going to happen. Or not New England, a Pittsburgh reporter say it's going to happen. He's coming to Pittsburgh. We're kind of just waiting for him to figure out these details before they announce it. Thoughts on how the Niners have handled this?
Pretty terribly. Whoever their PR guy is, like the misinformation that's been sent out is not a great sign of stability as far as like keeping things tight.
Yeah.
Like there's been 20 rumors. Like they're in, they're out. This team's out. This team is in. This number is this. Whatever. That's not great. If you're like that means the players when you have them like free agents come in, they see this. They're like, well, when I want a contract, this is what happened with me. It's me turned into a big circus, and everyone's gonna know my business, and it's not a great look. Not professional. John Lynch doesn't know how to handle this part. He's a great GM. Yeah. Except for this part.
I think they've lost, like what you're saying, basically, is that they've lost the public battle.
Yeah.
They've lost the battle with their own fans. I'm sure their fans don't feel great about Aiyuk most likely headed out of town, and they just signed Robbie Anderson. That's not a great feeling.
There's no way that, if you're a Niners fan and you're for this, like, bro, you're dumb. Like, Brandon Aiyuk is a very good wide receiver.
So, okay. I said, I see a disaster season possibly come to the Niners.
Okay.
Here's where we are so far.
Here we are.
Aiyuk hasn't showed up. He's probably going to get traded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Persall's already hurt his shoulder. He's not practicing right now.
Yeah. Nice.
McCaffrey's out for the preseason. Totally out. Trent Williams hasn't showed up to camp yet. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
Oh, man, if you're right about this, GG, but they have some problems over there, and they don't know how to handle it, or at least how to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Like Trent Williams, at least you don't hear about it, but that's a big freaking deal. It's Trent Williams.
Yeah.
What a tough spot, and they're just handling it so poorly.
Okay, so that's the PR side of it.
Yeah, here we go.
The contract side of it is that you're getting if you would have traded Aiyuk during the draft, you're getting so much more. Yeah. Not to mention an opportunity to draft his replacement.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most important now.
Like right then and there, too.
Yeah, because now they're not getting another receiver in his place now. They're not going to get anyone comparable to Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah. I think Persall is a total panic pick.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
And they picked him above a lot of guys who were projected to be like Xavier Worthy and the Buffalo guy. I'm blanking on
Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman. A lot of those guys. Leggett. You better be right about this guy. Because no one's – maybe they're on to something that we don't know
I
about.
saw was it Travarius? Travarius Ward basically defend him with, like, one arm and a couple of, like, some footwork.
Oh, Persall? Yeah.
Persall, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about that guy. But anyways, we'll keep an eye on that. It sounds like Aiyuk is going to be a Steeler. So let's talk about that side of it.
Okay.
Aiyuk pairing up with George Pickens in Pittsburgh with, for now, Russell Wilson, potentially Justin Fields. That backfield with what seems like it's going to be one of the better running games in the NFL. Kind of a rebuild offensive line, kind of.
I mean, they're throwing first-round picks at it every year, so I think eventually they'll be good, yeah.
And a very successful running play caller. What can the Steelers be this year if they get Brandon Aiyuk?
Who had the Steelers at third or second? Someone had the Steelers when we were ranking them, and now they look like a freaking genius. Because if they get Aiyuk,
I don't remember. I want to say me, but I don't remember.
I think it was Joey.
Yeah, I think you got the Pittsburgh. Yeah, Aiyuk and George Pickens is a very good one too. They're not the best one, but they're top 5. That's a very good duo because Aiyuk can kind of do everything on the field.
And we don't know what they are really.
And we don't even know what George Pickens is yet, but we see the talent. And Aiyuk, yeah, that's true. Don't get rid of make the deal.
Gone. He's gone.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But the Steelers fans just got a guy who just got slowly cooked. Now he's ready to become a star, and they get signed him long term.
Right? Is there any more excited fan base right now than
Pittsburgh
Steelers?
Yeah,
like even more than the Texans and the Colts. Like super excited fan bases. You're seeing all these Justin Fields tapes, so you're like you're
just waiting for it.
Yeah, you know how it is when you think you've got that guy at quarterback.
You're
like you want to believe it.
Yeah,
that's where you are with him.
Yeah.
You love George Pickens. That's your guy.
Yep.
And now you might get Brandon Aiyuk
to pair with Pickens, and then you have your 2 tight ends. You have like the defense is always going to be there. You have T.J. Watt still in his prime. Woo! Good times at Pittsburgh.
Right now, if they get Aiyuk and Justin Fields is the starter week 1, they're going to win the division. They're going to win the division.
That is a lot.
Wow.
All right, that's got to be
put that up.
Put it on the board.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right,
real quick.
Yeah.
Here's what I understand about the Niners side.
Shoot.
So we keep hearing stories, especially with Pittsburgh, that they want a receiver in return. And to your point, what you said, that you feel like the Ricky Pearsall pick was a panic pick. Was that not your replacement right there in the first round? You reached for a receiver. Is that not your guy? Why are you still nickel and diming these teams? You want a receiver of a similar level as Aiyuk in return. I thought you got your guy.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's a great point. Yeah, I thought you had your replacement already. You should just settle for draft compensation.
Yeah.
If you already got your guy, or just some other piece that's going to help you. But they obviously maybe don't feel like they got their guy.
I feel like the better trade partner would be the Browns because you can get Amari Cooper.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be the best one. I mean, out of the team, just out of the teams that are in it, that'd be the best. Oh, you can send Amari Cooper, or I mean, I don't know how that Jerry Jeudy contract works. Maybe you send Jerry. I don't know if you can do that in the NFL.
At this point, maybe decent draft capital and Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Elijah Moore is something. The first round pick at least.
They're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
They're in a rough
do you think
spot.
there's a sleeper team that we still don't know about, or is all the teams already out there?
For some reason, I feel like the Raiders and Devontae Adams thing is just lurking. I don't know why. Every time I see it, I just think like that just makes some sense to me. Like Devontae Adams just wants to win.
Yeah.
Right? And Aiyuk just wants to go somewhere where he can be comfortable and get paid, kind of like play that line. I mean, is there any more comfortable place for a young 20-something-year-old millionaire than Las Vegas?
And that'd be a win-win. Yeah, the Raiders get their wideout of the future, and then the Niners get a proven veteran superstar wideout in Devontae Adams, and it fits the timeline.
What we're not talking about all this is how it's going to impact Brock Purdy, because we are pretty split on Brock Purdy, right? You just think he's the worst quarterback.
No, I think I do not think that. Do not think that, people.
Don't comment.
Don't. Yeah.
But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what he is.
Yeah. So and I sound like a hater. The thing last year that we all wanted to see was what is Brock Purdy with all these fantastic weapons. And a couple years, I mean, maybe even this year, we might minus one weapon. Okay, let's see if him and CMC are out, and Trent. Let's see. Remember how different that offense was when Trent Williams was when just him. Yeah. So very curious to see what happens with Purdy, and this whole situation is a mess. It's just a mess.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get into our AFC East preview. Be right back. Okay, we are back with our division previews today. The AFC East is where we're gonna. We got one more after this. NFC East. I saved it for last just because it's mine.
I mean, why not?
But today, the AFC East, a very fun division, a very talented division.
Very active division this offseason.
Yeah, and another division where 3 teams legitimately have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, one is like your favorite team. One of your favorite teams is the Buffalo Bills, obviously. Yeah, so this is a very fun, and like I said, they kind of all quietly did a lot this offseason.
We start in Miami. Last year, they went 11-6, and of course, lost in that wild card game in Kansas City, where it was like negative 11 or whatever. It's just
people died.
Yeah, people lost limbs. Fingers.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Shout out to those fans
and their fingers.
Was Taylor Swift there?
Oh, was this? No, this wasn't the one where Jason. That was the Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, never mind. He wasn't there.
Either way, Miami lost to the Chiefs in that wild card round. They lost a couple guys this offseason. They had a purge.
Yeah,
for sure. Money wise, they basically had to pay Tua and no one else except for older vets. Let's get into some of their losses. They lost inside linebacker Jerome Baker, which you pointed out was a key addition for the Seahawks.
He's a very good linebacker. He's a very underrated linebacker.
Their best not overall, but their best player on defense, Christian Wilkins, goes to the Raiders. That's a big
one.
Yeah, hole to fill in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, he's just as good. He's just as good and as impactful as Jalen Ramsey is because he controls the middle of the defense. He could rush the pass. He plays inside and out. Huge loss. You can't replace that with one guy first year, so that's a big one.
Big loss on the D-line, then a big loss on the O-line. They lose Robert Hunt to the Panthers. They paid up for Robert Hunt.
Yeah.
And they lost their defense coordinator, Vic Fangio. So a lot of people out on the Dolphins. That's just kind of a preliminary list. They lost a handful of other guys as well. Key additions. They added Shaq Barrett, but then didn't he retire?
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. I don't know why. Like, you're in Miami, dude. Like, you gotta do a year in Miami. That's pretty cool.
A couple other ones I have here is Calais Campbell, Jordan Brooks. They signed Tua to the big deal, obviously. Yeah. We'll talk about that. But then they also restructured Tyreek Hill's contract. They signed Jalen Waddle.
They had some nice low-key signs. I mean, cornerback Kendall Fuller, obviously Bills legend, Poyer.
Eagles legend.
Elan Poyer. Jonnu Smith, wherever he was last year.
Kind of
no, but they're nice low-key kind of buys.
Kendall Fuller and Jonnu Smith.
Kendall Fuller's a good corner.
Yeah, okay. But they lost a lot, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, they lost a lot.
This team's going to look very different. I think defensively last year, they're not going to look like anything the same type of team.
No.
And they got a bunch of budget veterans who I think were surprisingly like that. I think they did surprisingly well to me as far as even the guys that got to go there.
Yeah.
Like a Jordan Poyer.
Yeah.
But I think nowhere good enough to be at the level they were last year. They're going to focus on scoring a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and then also, not to be just Debbie Downer, they also have Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb coming off big injuries. I think Phillips was the Achilles.
Yeah.
I'm blanking out
on
the
saddest videos of last year.
Yeah, it's just so, like, a lot of things working against them. Offensively, they seem to be healthy, besides the...
It's a very different mood in the offensive meetings, the defensive meetings.
Yeah.
Like, the offensive meetings, they're dancing, and, like, pizza. Defensive meetings are just
like, hold the line!
Those opening meetings were like, all right, boys, we're about to score another, million points. Defense, like, we're going to need everything we got.
Well, man, we need someone to have a year. we need someone to have a season.
We need a hero.
Yeah, it's literally poor Dolphins.
Greg predicts them to take a 2-game step back and finish at 9-8. I think if there's a surprise team that's not going to make the playoffs, it might be the Dolphins.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my question for this team, and it's kind of for you. How much confidence do you have in this Dolphins team? Because we've seen them last year at full health be kind of a fugaz, like a fake kind of good team. How much confidence do you have to be a natural contender with the Bills and Chiefs and with the other AFC contenders?
I mean, I'll say this. It's weird to hear the word confidence and the Dolphins in the same sentence. It just seems like it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's a team that it's hard to believe in because they're so predictable on how it's going to go when they face really good teams and really bad teams.
Yeah.
They played a struggling Broncos team last year and hung 70 on them.
Yeah.
And then
thanks for that.
Then they played good teams and just looked very normal. And then the Bills beat them right after that.
Yeah.
And so I have a hard time with Tua. We didn't love him as the long-term answer there.
Yeah.
You obviously love Tyreek and you love Waddle, and that's the best stable running backs maybe in the NFL.
Yeah.
But not a lot of confidence at all to answer your question.
Yeah. I'll list a few AFC teams that we've been kind of high on, and you kind of it's basically just the AFC South. Them or the Houston Texans.
Texans.
Here's a good one. Them or the Colts.
Colts. I knew you said Colts.
Ooh, that's
easily
Colts.
That's okay.
Yeah,
and that's their fault because they've proven they can't play good teams well, which is what you need to do to win a Super Bowl. And they kind of kept the exact same offensive core. So I guess defensively needs to change. Something needs to change to make this get over this.
They're going to take a step back defensively. So you wonder where they're going to be this year. I just think they're going to be
a shootout
They've
team.
locked themselves into a certain type of team for the foreseeable future until they really make real changes because it is what it is right now. They're going to score a lot of points. Not going to be able to stop anyone. They're not going to – Tua's not the guy you want down the stretch.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a big play. I mean, their pass rushers are gone. Just completely depleted. The guy Jalen Phillips and all those guys we said. Wilkins gone now.
Yeah.
I think they are going to take a step back. I think 9-8 is generous. I think they could really struggle this year.
Yeah, I mean, they did draft Chop Robinson, kind of fill the gap until they get back. But still, he was a project. He was a project coming out. That's why he fell. I think they picked him in the 21st in the first round. It's just question marks defensively, obviously. And you still have a question mark with Tua. I know he puts up stats, but do you really believe in Tua? He's bad in cold games.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds bad because he was the leading passer last year.
Yeah.
Led the league in passing last year.
Yeah, and you really don't like those kind of quarterbacks on. Brock Purdy, Tua, I mean, they have the numbers to prove it. Why are you so against those guys?
Well, so just to, not defend Angel, but just, I've been a little negative about him to here too. I think that speaks more to, like, his ability to come up big against a Mahomes, against a Josh Allen, against Joe Burrow this year. Even guys like with C.J. Stroud and some of the names Angel threw at me. I think we all trust him to put up numbers, especially when he's with Matt McDaniel.
Mike
McDaniel, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, those boys. I think they're gonna put up points, but I think like as far as being someone who's gonna be a real contender and like a real player in this league or in this conference, I don't believe in him either. Do you?
I mean, I don't believe in him to win to win the whole thing, but like you're gonna put the Colts above him, you're gonna put like the Texans above him. I mean, the Dolphins are made to score 40 points any given week. I mean, you know, Angel, you said they're more of like a shootout team. I think they have more of a chance to win games being a shootout team versus what they had last year. And I don't think this whole narrative of they can't, you know, beat the good teams is going to carry over year after year after year. I mean, at some point, it's going to happen with all that talent.
That's been a thing since Mike McDaniel has.
Also, not to mention, like they made a 32-year-old back on last year work for them. I just don't. I don't think we're giving the Dolphins enough credit for how many points they could score.
Look, good for you for
trading
scoring.
For Tyreek Hill.
Good for you for scoring a lot of points. I don't care if you score a lot of points. Can you win in the playoffs? Can you win? That's what I want.
Scoring a lot of points can do that. And
not for them.
And just because it didn't happen last year, I don't think it's fair to say that's every year from here on out.
Well, the reason why I say it could be this year because it's the same guys. Like what? Unless someone just turns on a different switch, as Tua turns something. Unless something happens where it's like, oh, he's elite now, or this guy's way better now. It's just there's not enough changes that I'm seeing to give me more confidence in them. Like losing Christian Wilkins didn't give me more confidence.
Yeah.
That defensive backfield, which kind of patchwork besides Jalen Ramsey, doesn't give me more confidence. Tua has never really given me an overwhelmingly abundance of confidence just in general as a quarterback who needs to go against Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and now C.J. Stroud and this young core of AFC quarterbacks. It's just a lot of question marks, and I'm not going to plant my flag on the thing that, well, maybe year 3 will be different. Maybe this is now they finally figured out how to master this offense, how to do whatever. Last year they were good and a lot of stats too, and they didn't do anything in the playoffs and against good teams. So I don't know what needs to change, but until that time, I'm not putting my money on that team.
I think
I'm just trusting the talent. I'm not saying plant your flag there as a true Super Bowl contender. I'm just saying a little bit more respect.
No, they'll be a good team, but not
that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think the point of Angel saying, like, they're the same team. They're bringing the same guys.
Yeah.
Those same guys could not beat good teams. And I've got the back half of their schedule. The final 6 games at Green Bay, home against the Jets, at Houston, home against the Niners, at Cleveland, and at the New York Jets.
Oh, my God.
Is how they're ending the final 6 games of the season. If they don't come out the gates swinging, I don't see them making the playoffs with this schedule.
If they, like, let's say they go 500 in those last 6.
That would be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be incredible.
That would shock you guys if they went through.
I mean,
500
let Gabe pick those games.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. At Green Bay.
Oh.
Look at his face.
I'll take my Packers.
Okay, yeah. You will. Home against the Jets.
Oh, also a little bit.
I think they could be.
It's a winnable game. It's a winnable
It's
game.
winnable.
At Houston.
At Houston.
In a shootout in a dome, I'm going to take the Dolphins.
All right, home against the Niners.
Oof. No, they're not beating the Niners.
Okay. At Cleveland.
I'm going to say they're going to beat the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
And then at the New York Jets.
They'll split the series. So I mean, yeah, that's 500 there.
They may be scoring 12 points in the last 2 games against the Jets and the Browns. No, it's a tough. I'll tell you what. If they can go through that above 500, I'm like, okay, maybe you can be good teams. That's a tough way to.
Yeah,
that's the last 6.
That's a true test. That's a true
maybe
test.
that's our answer too. Is they just they're not tough enough. When it gets to the end of the season, when you get to these cold weather teams, when they get to these people who are going to run the ball at them and keep the ball out of the hands of Tua in that offense, they're just not that tough guy team. They're just
we'll find out
up
this
and
year.
down the field as fast as they can get, and then when they get punched in the mouth, like when it's 12 degrees in Kansas City, they can't handle it.
Playing in Cleveland, December 29th.
It's probably
so negative 94 degrees.
So ugly in that city. Oh my god! Yeah,
I would be pissed if I was the Dolphins. Like, do I seem like it? Like, look at the teams around me. Do I look like I fit with these guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we'll find out this year with that ending
that's
6
a
games.
Great
That's
test.
That's a good test.
That's wild. Nice play.
Here we go.
Let's go to the New England Patriots. We saw them play tonight with their brand new toy, Drake May, leading them out. Last year, the Patriots went 4-13. Good God.
Good golly.
4-13. a dumpster fire of the year. Unfortunately, the last year that we'll get Bill Belichick. He wins 4 games. That kind of sucks. But a brand new regime here. Jared Mayo in town. Like I said, Drake May in town. They re-signed Rondale Stevenson. New wide receiver 1, Jalen Polk. Maybe.
We have to say that.
You gave me no faith in that.
They lose Trent Brown. They lose Zeke Elliott, who might win the rushing title, according to
fantasy sleeper. That's all I'm saying.
he will not let go of the Zeke Elliott one.
No, I will not. I love Zeke Elliott. I will not. I will not.
You really are passionate about this.
Chuck Wuma Okafor at right tackle. That's a new right tackle. Sion Taki. Wow, they really killed it with the names. And then
those are good players.
New starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett in town for the New England Patriots. Greg has this team finishing just 1 game better at 5-12. I mean, 5-12. Does that seem right?
Yeah, probably because it's the same roster that it's almost literally the same roster that they only won a couple games last year. So like, what's the difference? Drake May obviously is a difference, which leads me to my question: have they surrounded Drake May with enough to even succeed? Because we've seen this. We just saw this with Justin Fields. You have a talented quarterback. You never surround him with anything, and look what happens. He never takes off. He never elevates. We just saw this summer. Yeah. No wideouts want to go to New England. We saw Calvin Ridley say no. We saw Aiyuk say no. Do they have enough? Like we don't know if they're gonna some guys. Maybe Jalen Polk is gonna pop off to be a guy. Did they do enough to help a quarterback who? I mean, every rookie quarterback needs help.
I don't think it's the same as the Bears. I know that you're just drawing a comparison, but it's not the same. They tried. They tried to surround this guy. No one wants to go there, and no one was available in the draft when they were up to pick. And so I don't know. I think it's a moot point anyway. I don't think Drake May's going to start until at least halfway through the season. I think Jacoby Brissett is their starter, and they're just going to let Drake May cook and just kind of. I think this is a multi-year rebuild, and I think it's kind of we don't know yet if they've surrounded him with weapons because I don't think they've officially given him the reins. When they hand him the keys, if they still don't have weapons at that point, then I'll be critical. Now they've had one off season, and no one wanted to go there.
Yeah, I'm just saying like they've had this problem though. No one wants to go there for wideouts.
That's true.
It's not like So I'm just curious because you hate to see these quarterbacks who have all the talent in the world that go to situations where it's not always set up for them to have success, and then they never. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks in the first round that went to teams that are bad. They're bad for a reason because they don't have any weapons, and then they just kind of fall to the side because they never got the confidence to. Yeah, that's my worry is that we don't see the best of Drake May for another 2-3 years because they didn't have weapons. Right?
I think that was the plan, though. I think that's why you got Jacoby Brissett. Let Jacoby Brissett, the veteran, go in there, play with the subpar roster, and kind of just he wants to start. It's kind of the perfect marriage, and just let him cook, let him develop. I think this year's not about that. This year's about culture. This year's about turning the page from Bill Belichick. This year's about setting up the next 10 to 15 years. That's what this year's about.
How much confidence? It's not a question, but does Jared Mayo give you what do you think about Jared Mayo as the head coach and hired to replace? It's hard to come after
from what the 3 interviews in the offseason.
No, it's just it doesn't really. I would like to see them have a. I know they just came from an established guy, but like an offensive mind, like a young. All these new teams now have these young offensive minds. I would like to see that a little bit.
I mean, we've seen
a little bit of progression.
We've seen it work both ways. AP turned around the Raiders last year, and then you have Dan Campbell in Detroit. So I think both ways can work. I think they've been intentional. They set up this plan a long time ago. He was the clear successor. It was in his contract. Mm-hmm. They groomed him. Then they gave him I think they've done everything right, and just they haven't had anything to really propel them ahead of their plan. I think they're right on schedule, right where they want to be.
Okay, real question, and you can be honest with me. Who has the better roster, the Broncos or the Patriots?
How does it come to Broncos?
No, because we had said that this might be the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, said a couple shows ago.
This is the two. Everyone has these as the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Better roster right now?
Yeah.
I'd probably go to Broncos.
And then who has the better record this year?
I have to look at their schedules, but I'd say I would trust the Broncos to win more games just because the experience of Sean Payton.
I just need a little win. I just need a little win.
It's nice to win one.
It's nice to win one.
All right, back to the Patriots.
Sorry.
Yeah, so Greg had been finishing, I think, what was that, 8 and...
No, way lower.
5.
5 and 12.
That's one more game than the Broncos.
I think that's about where they'll be. I think I want to know what the vibes are like at the end of the year. How are the guys responding to Mayo? How did we see Drake May? Did he look promising when he was in there?
Yeah.
Did he look like a deer? A deer in the headlights? Like that's. I think the wins are not in the box score this year. The wins are you have to watch the games and see how it's going.
Yeah.
or be in that locker room.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, good for them for drafting a quarterback, and it's probably exciting. You have a young rookie quarterback. You can now kind of to flip a switch to positivity. You can
Think
kind
about
of
how hard that is to turn that page.
Belichick and Brady within 3
you
years
did
of each other, 4 years.
Whole thing for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the hard thing to do, and I think they're doing everything they can do right now. Let's keep going here, and where are we on? Let's go to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yes.
The Bills. I love me the Bills, man.
Dude, this is your sweetheart team.
I saw someone post today, and it might be true. Does Josh Allen have the best set of weapons he's ever had this year? We'll see. Last year, Buffalo Bills go 11-6.
What was the question?
Best set of weapons he's ever had?
That's a real.
Somebody really said that?
Someone said that?
Yeah.
Losing Stephon Diggs makes you.
Yes, you see, that's not the question. Not do they have the single best weapon he's ever had? The best set, the best group.
Okay. Okay, that's a tough one. Only time will tell. But I mean, I
think it's like a good. It's not like a preposterous question. You think so?
I get that because you're counting on Curtis Samuel working well in this offense where he's worked well before.
First round receiver.
You're hoping Keon Coleman is what his draft stock says he should be.
Yep. You're hoping Shakur
Khalil Shakir can
continues
take a
his-
year, and then Dalton Kincaid,
James
Dawson
Cook,
Knox is still there.
James Cook.
Yeah.
A lot of arrow up guys in this offense. Not to mention my pick for MVP probably this year, Josh Allen, because it's going to be all through Josh Allen. I think he's going to have an incredible year, and I think honestly, I don't think it's that crazy of a thing. When I saw it, I was like, I think that's crazy. I think more people should be thinking that way.
It's counting on a lot to work, though.
Yeah. I think people just automatically think what you guys thought. Like, how can they be better with Stephon Diggs?
Well,
I think in totality, the room might be better.
Yeah, it's just that I guess, and I get what you're saying. Just there's just more question marks than there was last year because you know what Stephon Diggs is. You don't know if Curtis, but it's just I get it though. The depth of target of wideouts now is and the receivers.
You can't name there's more stability and then go to Stephon Diggs. That can't be your example for stability last year. He was as up and down as any receiver in the league. Not to mention how he was in the locker room.
Well, I don't think his play was due to him. I think it was due to the change in offensive coordinator and change in
Either
play
way,
calling.
it's not like he was stable. Like we knew what Stephon Diggs was, right? I mean,
he had a good season last year, but either way, it's very interesting what they're doing now. They're kind of putting money elsewhere, which is nice. Now you get to see Josh Allen kind of form into you can't just rely on Stephon Diggs, which he didn't last year. Which leads me to my question. Kind of opposite of what I was saying. Are we about to see the best quarterback play of Josh Allen? Because now we don't have a guy who he can just lean on for 12 targets a game, Stephon Diggs. He has to kind of break down this defense. Because a couple years ago we saw when Patrick Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill. We all thought, this is the end of the dynasty. This is when it's going to stop. Then Mahomes kind of changed gear, became a different type of quarterback, more IQ based, more smart.
I think you answered your own question. Yeah. I think the best quarterback play. No, we've seen incredible things from Josh Allen. I think we're going to see the depth of his talent. I think we're going to see he's not just some gunslinger. He's not just some hero ball quarterback. He's a guy who can operate different kinds of offenses. He showed us at the end of last year, and I think this year he's going to have an entire year of making guys. Literally, he made Khalil Shakir last year. From what was he before that stretch? Nothing. And then he became the guy that Josh Allen was going to go to, and all of a sudden Khalil Shakir is a thing. James Cook, what was he before? Just kind of rotational running back. Now he's one of the favorite picks for a breakout player. I think we're going to see the depth of his talent. I think we're going to see that he can run multiple different kinds of offenses. I think Joe Brady, they're going to have a hard time holding on to him this year, which I think might be a problem. But I mean, to answer your question, no, I just think we're going to see a different one, and it's going to be impressive in its own right.
Yeah, they did lose a lot of guys besides Stephon Diggs, cornerback, Tre'Davious White. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. So much like the Dolphins,
those are huge names.
Yeah, and huge names in Buffalo. They've been the staple of those defenses, and now you have new faces. They signed Rapp. Taylor Rapp, safety.
Re-signed him.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting and interesting to see the defensive kind of evolve because they're kind of similar to the Dolphins, where the back end's kind of a lot different now.
Right.
And that's a question mark because you just haven't seen it. So I'm very curious on that end what happens, but
let's do their. If you guys can look up their schedule, I want to do their schedule.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Also, Cole Bishop's the guy they drafted out of Utah in that secondary. I just trust them. When the Packers draft secondary guys or trade for guys, I'm just dang, he's probably a stud.
Yeah.
I feel the same thing about the Bills.
Yeah.
Like they just know how to develop secondary guys, and they're terrible with pass rushers.
Oh, you sound a lot like you're describing the Packers when you were saying how like every player on that team they're like going up right now. It's the same thing with the Packers. There's no star, but you can have a lot of hope in that same team too.
AJ, you got that?
Yeah. So Gabe, you got the
Yeah, I got it.
keep tally. Okay. Opening week home against the Cardinals.
That's a win.
All right.
It's a nice week 1.
Week 2 at Miami.
That's a win.
Home against the Jaguars.
God, that's a win.
At Baltimore.
I think it's a loss.
At Houston.
It's a great game.
That's a good game. Is that on
At
prime time?
Houston,
That is at Houston. That's not a primetime game. 10 a.m.
Oh, well.
Houston's gonna want that game so badly. I think Stroud wins that one. Yeah.
Okay. So then we've got at New York Jets.
Josh Allen historically struggles against the Jets. It's just a thing
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
I think that's a loss, especially in New York.
So now we got them starting off 3-0 and then a 3-game losing streak.
3-game losing streak.
Okay, so now it's bounce back week home against Tennessee.
Yeah, nice tune-up.
Yep.
They're about to get their asses rocked.
Yeah, because they're usually so pissed after playing the Jets.
yeah.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry, Willie.
At Seattle.
That's a win.
Home against Miami.
That's a tough win, though.
Yeah. Seattle's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Home against Miami.
That's another win.
They're sweeping them.
At the Colts.
Ooh, your team, our team.
I feel like if Anthony Richardson works out, he's going to be a clone of Josh Allen. I'm saying like his upside.
Yeah.
So that's good. That could potentially be a super fun game to watch.
Yeah.
At home, I think it's the same like the Texans.
This is at the Colts.
I think it's like the Texans where this young team's going to want it so badly. I just think they're not ready yet. I'll go with the Bills.
Okay. Home against the Chiefs.
This is the classic team. This is the classic rivalry.
Yeah.
This is their bane.
This is their
It's a Sunday afternoon game, 1:25.
I can honestly see the Chiefs dropping this game. It just seems like it's in that.
Probably
time
going
of
to
the
agree
year.
with you. Yeah, I think the Bills win this one.
Okay. Then they go right into their bye week.
Okay.
Come back
It's a nice
home
bye.
home against the Niners.
Here comes the MVP stretch for Josh Allen.
Oh,
Home against the Niners.
Home against the Niners.
Kick it off. That's how they kick it off right there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Debo's hurt at this point.
At the at the LA Rams.
My boys.
Oh, this is a tough one.
It's like my two kids fighting each other. Oh man, it's in LA,
Yep.
Don't do it.
in my hometown.
That's a tough one.
I mean, it's the Bills, right?
I would choose the Bills, but
That's a coin flip. I'll go with the Bills.
That's literally whoever has the ball last.
That's a great
'Cause
game.
that's a good game.
They have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
That's not easy.
At Detroit.
Wait, hold on. Who'd you pick in the Rams game?
I'll go with the Bills. They're not going to win back-to-back. They're going to lose to Detroit.
Okay,
So
They're
he's
gonna
got-
lose one of
he's
those
got
games.
the Bills beating the Rams,
Yep,
losing
I
to
got it.
Detroit.
I got it.
Home against New England. Slaughter.
Slaughter.
Drake Bay is just
Shout out to New England.
Home against the Jets.
home against the Jets. I think they win a 9-12 game.
Yeah, that's an ugly one. Yeah. Not fantasy relevant.
Yeah, everyone struggles fantasy.
that's fantasy championship
But
week.
Josh Allen comes out with like 40.
35.
40
Yeah, that's
fantasy
fantasy
points.
That's
championship
fantasy championship week. So
Oh,
Garrett
God.
Wilson,
Aaron
Brees Hall,
Rodgers.
Josh Allen.
Well, I'm worried with the Bills guys. I mean,
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
James Cook. Yeah, sheesh.
Yeah.
And then week 18 at New England.
Oh, nice.
another one.
Oh, God. That's
see,
nice.
yeah, man.
Man, who had the first rebound game?
The Titans.
God, those two teams are going to get teed off on.
Yeah.
I have them winning that.
Yeah.
What we at?
13 games. Sorry.
Okay.
13-4.
13-4.
Wow, it didn't seem like that. Cool.
I feel like
I was generous with some of those things.
They
I'll
lost
admit
those
that.
3 games.
They lost the 3 in a row, and then
the
the
early season.
I thought he had him losing against the Colts.
Yeah, I'm losing. That's,
Then Detroit.
That's game 4.
And then losing against
oh
Detroit.
yeah, I'm losing against Detroit.
So
Okay,
12 and 5.
Either way, pretty good record.
Still a good record.
I think.
Able to reach number 1 seed in the AFC, too, with that record.
Yeah, so I think I was pretty generous with it. So you would have to imagine 12 to 13 games is their cap.
Yeah.
But I could also see some of those games going the other way. So could be a 10-win season. That's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
It's a very tough schedule.
This is what happens when you're a good team. They give you all the good teams.
Okay, we're back, and let's wrap up this AFC East preview with the New York Jets. Last year, America's team for about 4 plays.
Until Aaron Rodgers' Achilles dipped out. Yeah.
Luckily, he wasn't holding the American flag anymore.
No.
Because that would have been like all-time America.
So
now-
9/11.
Yeah, so now let's
Was it 9/11?
That was 9/11.
Oh my goodness.
How did I not know that all
Yeah,
year?
that's why he came out with the flag.
What a sad moment in New
I
York
thought it was just
history.
being patriotic.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was a cool scene. That was like
was awesome.
everywhere
So
on
much fun.
Instagram. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. 7-10 last year, which is better than I thought they were.
Yeah. With
I would think like 4 or 5 wins. The way people talk about them.
real quick, rank their quarterbacks last year: Tim Boyle,
I couldn't even
Zach
name
Wilson.
their quarterbacks last year.
Okay, Tim Boyle, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Siemian.
I'm pretty sure Tim Boyle's not in the league anymore. Right? Simeon, if he is, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilson's literally the emergency quarterback for one of the worst quarterback rooms in the NFL.
That's
Never wrong.
literally accurate. That's crazy.
So that's So rough play last year at quarterbacks, which makes 7-10 really amazing, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of bright spots last year, namely Breece Hall bouncing back the way he did. That's incredible.
He came back from an injury, so
Garrett Wilson, another strong year with those quarterbacks, amazing, and the defense, one of the best in the league.
yeah. This team has relied so much on the defense, and 7 wins. You wouldn't put much of the credit on the offense. That's mainly the defense, keeping them in games, making them
defensive struggles.
Yeah, a lot of punting in specific areas, position battles.
It came to the point where as soon as they made a team punt, they just raced to the sideline, got as much rest as they could, drank as fast as they could.
I tell you what, they are in incredible shape over there. They played a lot last year.
They had terrible tackles last year. Laken Tomlinson, Mekhi Becton, they're both gone. Not sure where Laken Tomlinson is. I know last I checked on Becton, he was getting a water IV at practice,
and then
going up 4 times.
And then they had Dwayne Brown last year, but I think he was hurt or someone was wrong. Yeah,
he's also very old.
He's also old as fuck. So it's
That's another way to say it.
that's
He's not even that old. He's like 38.
this old fuck.
He has a couple years on you, Angel.
No, don't say that. No.
Put some perspective.
They added Mike Williams.
Nice. Especially,
that's good.
yeah, for agency, and it's nice. I think that could be because they drafted and they have wideouts there to just add him to a wideout room. Don't make him the number 1 guy. Just make him a part of a team.
God, you remember was it last year, 2 years ago? Mike Williams just started the year on
It was
fire.
2 or 3 years
oh
ago.
God, yeah. He was. That's the upside.
He was like the wide receiver 2 in fantasy for
and
the
he
first.
can't be over 28, right? He's still relatively
young.
young. Yeah, so you can. This is an upside play.
Low risk,
Low risk, high reward. Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
They drafted Mekhi Corley, also known as the Yak God in college.
Yeah.
Olu Fashanu,
Yeah.
stud.
Yeah, I think he'll start because they got rid of Tomlinson at left guard.
So then you have Vera Tucker and him at guard.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
And you
then,
have my guy at center. God, I can't remember his name.
Tippmann.
Joe Tippmann.
Joe Tippmann.
Love Joe Tippmann.
Yeah, and then you have the newly signed tackles: Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses.
That's nice.
Look, you have youth in the middle and your veterans on the outside. And then what you've done with Fashanu is you have versatility.
I mean, forget what that does for Aaron Rodgers. What does that do for Breece Hall?
Right.
I mean, he ran
one of the worst offensive leagues to that offensive line.
Probably the biggest upgrade in offensive line across the league. That's
except for Saquon coming from New York.
No. As far as offensive line upgrades,
yeah, you're on the team. Yeah, sure.
The best because tackles have really upgraded, and then Fashanu.
And that you would have said that was their weak point coming out of last season, right?
Yeah,
besides maybe receiver
and Hackett is probably their weakest point. To be honest, they don't Hackett.
Hackett's back.
Let me tell you why. We talked this earlier.
Well, let's preface it. You hate him because he used to be the Broncos coach and he sucked there, and you've kind of hated him just in general. But go ahead, make your point.
Yeah,
get some context.
Yeah. He's a moron. I was about to cuss, but I didn't. Week 17 against the Patriots, when nothing counted for nothing. You could have just played anybody out that doesn't fucking matter. They ran Breece Hall, this poor guy on a recovering ACL, 37 times for reasons that are beyond me and beyond anybody else.
Well, I think it's one of the test is just tough.
Yeah, are you really tough?
Do you really want it?
This is all bullshit. Are you a tough guy?
Are you ready for a Nate Hackett
Yeah.
offense?
Run that ball, baby. We're going to prove it something tonight.
I think Nate Hackett is top 5 most made fun of guys on this show.
Yeah. He's up there with McDaniels.
Goont.
Gunter.
Jerry Jones is in the crosshairs.
Why in the world? Why in the world? Gutekunst with Jerry Jones is beyond me. That's beyond me. He's assembled such a great Packers team. You're gonna put him there.
It's
He
just for
has
this
done
show.
that to himself.
Just this show. And then Jerry Jones has the crown.
Yeah.
First place.
He's in the crosshairs.
Forever and always.
He made us forget about the moron in Carolina.
Yeah. I forget his
David
name.
Tepper.
David Tepper. What a.
Case in point.
There's a lot of morons in the league.
Back to the Jets
Back
here.
to the Jets.
They did add Hassan Reddick, which so far no good.
Yeah, the one swing and miss so far.
Yeah.
He could come back and be the same.
Yep.
But last year he didn't play well for the Eagles. You were an Eagle fan. You saw him. He wouldn't play.
Underperformed for sure.
So now you have him in a bad season without contract. He's just that's kind of an L so far.
What else they do in the offseason?
They kind of got a bunch of depth. They got who's a nice guy is no one's in a say Kinlaw.
Oh no.
I like him.
He sucks.
I like Kinlaw a lot. I don't know why.
He was drafted high.
Yeah,
he
I
hasn't
think
done
I-
anything.
Yeah, but I think
I'm
reuniting
not going
him.
to say Jordan Whitehead.
It's
I mean, to that defense?
they have a lot. That defensive backfield, obviously headlined by Sauce Gardner. You have Chuck Clark, Troy Adams, DJ Reed, Michael Carter the second.
Okay, so Michael Carter II is, mark my words, remember that name. At the end of this year, you're going to be like, okay, that's another one of those dudes. Which is crazy because DJ Reed might be that guy too. And they're both on the opposite of Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, that's what they lean on. That's why they're so aggressive up front, because that secondary can lock down just about anybody.
They make the Packers secondary look like nothing.
Yeah, right, Gabe?
I can't wait to see week 1. God, I can't wait for that.
Good game.
My question for this team, it's kind of everyone's question, is like, not everyone's question. It's like kind of was just, do the Jets need Aaron Rodgers to play at a elite level to be a Super Bowl contender? Because we saw last year what they did with their hodgepodge of quarterbacks, and they got 7 wins. Can Aaron Rodgers be enough to give him 5, 6 wins, 7 wins to enough get him out? I don't think he even needs to be old Aaron, MVP Aaron. He needs just to be just manage the game almost. But I think he'll probably be in between there for me. He'll be in between game manager and MVP. I think he'll fall right there.
So to answer your question, no, they don't need him to be MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But they do need him to occasionally win some games for them.
Yeah.
Like they're going to need him to drive some game-winning drives.
Yeah.
They're going to need him to play some ball control.
Yeah.
I think they're going to need that version of Aaron Rodgers, kind of be occasionally great, which I think is a fair ask for him at this age.
Yeah.
What's crazy is how this team and their path of success parallels the Cleveland Browns. I was just thinking, like, who do you need more from? Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers?
Deshaun Watson.
Probably about the same, don't you think?
Well,
No.
You don't think the Browns defense is close to the
oh
Jets
man,
defense?
no, the Browns defense is pretty.
It's
fucking
fantastic.
good. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good comp. Who do you have more confidence in?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Oh,
okay,
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, the guy, which is sad because it should be Deshaun
Watson
Watson
at
Like,
28 years
easily,
old. Yeah, I think
I think it's more just the offense that the Jets have too versus what the the Browns.
Well, Nick Chubb coming off injury, that hurts them. But I think a healthy Nick Chubb would even out the Breece Hall thing.
Yeah.
And wideout is Amari Cooper's been underrated. He's not anything near. Well,
Jerry Jeudy there now.
yeah, it's an interesting comp because it's kind of built
I
the
haven't
same
thought
way.
about
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, I think they just need to be occasionally great.
Yeah.
Occasionally great. A question I'll throw it out there. I think we shouldn't be surprised but I think a lot of people will be, if Aaron Rodgers is just cooked.
So
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I saw Tom Brady fall off a cliff.
We saw
It happens to everyone.
We saw the sheriff himself.
I saw,
fall off.
I saw Peyton Manning. We've seen versions of like,
Drew Brees.
even like a Drew Brees, a Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Like we've seen these guys. They fall off a cliff. Aaron Rodgers now 40, coming off an Achilles tear. He is doing a lot of other things just in life in general. I mean, I think it has to be. I haven't heard it mentioned, so I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's not all assume this guy is still Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
or even a version that could win.
Yeah, and it is fair because he hasn't played in like a year, obviously because of the Achilles, and he didn't play crazy elite level prior to that when he was still with Green Bay.
Yeah,
but that's fair. But I think I'm just gonna trust it might be just a dumb blind faith. But I'm just trusting Aaron Rodgers will be at least at the level of like 30 touchdowns to 10 interceptions around there.
not a chance. You think so? You guys think he go 30 and 10?
It's pretty tough actually.
I mean, we were just kicking around his stats from his last years in Green Bay. He didn't reach 30 and 10.
Well, last year was 25.
That was his last year. It was
26 and 12.
And that was also with no notable receivers. He's got Garrett Wilson.
Devontae was gone by then.
He's got Mike Williams.
I mean, a couple things were balanced that out, though. He also had Matt LaFleur and a much better offensive line.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, 30 touchdowns. You should make a bet on that if you'd reach 30 touchdowns.
I don't want to bet against Aaron Rodgers. I want to root for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I feel like that's the version people want to see because I think more than, I guess, other than Tom Brady, like quarterbacks who have recently been in the league, guys who have been inflated in our head to be like superhero types, Aaron Rodgers is right up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like almost like that kind of superpowers.
Yeah.
Like extra human.
Because we've seen him do some incredible
We've
shit.
seen crazy things. So I don't know. I just want to throw it out there. I hope that doesn't happen. I want to see Aaron Rodgers, a potent Aaron Rodgers.
A
on
pissed
the Jets
off Aaron
is
Rodgers.
good for the league, man.
Trying to prove something, a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for the league. And it's good because he's kind of like arrogant about it. So like
Right.
you kind of cheer like this guy's just back against the wall, 40 years old. No one believes in him, mainly Joey. And he's just trying to prove something wrong to Joey.
What's funny is that a year ago, I was the guy riding for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't know how he's flipped. I'm the Jets guy.
I haven't flipped. I'm just saying he tore his Achilles and turned 40.
That's two things that
I mean,
happened.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gabe.
That's all of America calling saying that they disagree with you.
Wow, that was quick.
Good save.
That was very well done, Gabe.
Gabe.
All right, so let's do like we just did with the Bills. Let's do a schedule prediction, and I'll do it. I'm very excited to see this.
All right, I got you.
Rapid fire.
Week 1, repeating that Monday night. Monday night at the 49ers. 49ers got some question marks.
Yeah, I think
I'll say.
Okay, so
Little rascals over there.
I don't think the Niners would have their full squad by then. Because CMC's
that's
coming
what I
off
was
an
saying.
injury. Yeah, I think it's just too many bad things happening. I think the Jets all positive. I'll take the Jets week 1.
Okay. Then week 2 at Tennessee.
Sorry, Tennessee. Another game we stomped on. I'll take the Jets.
And get ready for this run right here. Home against New England.
That's a win.
Home against Denver.
That's a win. God,
Home against Minnesota.
that's a win.
And then home against Buffalo, which when we did Buffalo, we had the Jets winning this game. Do we stick with that?
No,
or?
I think for me, I think they split the series. I think this is the first loss, and then yeah.
Okay.
So loss.
Then we've got at Pittsburgh. They go either way.
At that time, Fields is playing. Aiyuk is rolling hot. He finally got some chemistry going. I'll take the Steelers.
Okay. Then we got at New England.
Win.
Home against Houston.
Tough. I can flip a coin on that one. Whoever has the ball last, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I'll just assume he's the ball last.
I gave him the ball with 4.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, we've got at Arizona.
That's a win.
A home against Indianapolis.
Indy.
We love it.
If all goes well, they're rolling. They're rolling high. But Jets are also rolling high too. I think Jets. I think the defense is too complicated for Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
So
then,
Jets.
Then they go into their bye week. Home against Seattle.
Off a bye, I'll take Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. At Miami.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, win.
At Jacksonville.
Win.
Home against the Rams.
That's a lot. Rams.
Yeah.
Rams are.
And then at Buffalo, you
They
would have
won
you would
the
have-
first time.
So there's a loss. Yeah. So
Okay.
they kind of split it. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
They lost the first
you
time.
had
This
them
is a
losing
win.
the first
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
so okay.
Yeah, this is a
and
win.
then finish the season home against Miami.
I'll take the Jets.
That's 14 wins.
Greg has them at 11-6 winning the AFC, but if they're running away the AFC, if you're
Well, the one team that a couple games,
AFC East, sorry.
the couple games that I just don't know that are close is against the AFC, the AFC South. That's the Texans and the Colts.
And
Those
then
are
Pittsburgh can
the,
go
the,
either
those
way,
are two
yeah.
teams that I could see go either way.
Were they
But the rest
losing to
of
both of
them-
those teams? Did he call them losing?
I think he had them beating Houston, losing to no, he had them beating Indianapolis.
Stroud really struggled against the Jets last year.
Yeah, that's
It's that defense. It's the Jets defense that you're looking at
and
against
like
these young quarterbacks.
And like we compared to the Browns, what the Browns did with a good defense. It's just it's hard to go against the Jets because if all else fails, they could rely on that defense for the hold a team to 10, 15 points. So
Like they know how to win that way already.
yeah, so and then just add in Rodgers is just a cherry on top. Like, oh, we can win this way and also be an effective offense. So that's why it's tough to. But this is also us relying on a 40-year-old quarterback with Achilles injury.
This is not hating on CJ Stroud. He's amazing. This is how good this Jets defense was. In the height of CJ Stroud mania last year, week 14, CJ Stroud went 10 for 23 for 91 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
wow.
Yeah, that Jets defense can turn
They're
that shit
so
on.
good.
That's why it's like Aaron Rodgers, does he need to be good? But and then
Okay,
if
so
he is good,
so Greg has them winning division.
Okay.
It sounds like you do too.
yeah, probably do. Yeah.
Let's pick the division now. Let's start at the producer desk.
Let's see. Pats 4, Dolphins 3, Bills at 2, and then I probably have the Jets winning it.
I'm gonna do that same exact list: Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, Jets. I picked the Jets as my number 10 team when I did my list a couple months back, and I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, not to be boring, but it's the same thing. I mean, it just kind of falls out. Once you lay it out, once you lay it out, what every team did and how teams some elevated, some got worse.
Yeah.
Kind of obvious what the winners and losers are this offseason. So I'll take the at number 4 the Patriots, 3 the Miami Dolphins, 2 the Bills, and number 1 the New York Jets.
I got the Patriots at bottom 2. I have the Dolphins with a rough season. Maybe a little Mike McDaniel hot seat talk.
Oh, don't do that. I love Mike.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
You guys,
You don't
really
spend
hate
that.
the
You don't
Dolphins.
spend that much money and not win.
That's true.
Like something has to give, and it's not going to be Tua.
Mike Vrabel's out there.
I'm just saying.
Sorry,
oh yeah, that's true.
I love Vrabel. I don't know why he's not head coach. Go ahead.
I have the Jets second, but right on the tail of the Bills, winning division, both making the playoffs, and both a real threat in the playoffs.
That's a good playoff matchup if they end up linking up
for
in
sure.
the playoffs.
What we were talking about, it's unfortunate the only time he would face Jordan Love and the Packers would be the Super Bowl.
What a
but
dance.
What a hell of a Super Bowl.
It'll be the Aaron Rodgers Bowl.
Where is it this year? Oh, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Nolans.
With Miley Cyrus. Okay, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 143. Just one more preview left of a division. That is the NFC East. Woo! The, what did I say, how many days away? 28 days away
28
now.
days away from recording.
It's going to be a good time. We're getting there so fast. Stick with us. We'll see you next week with hopefully a Brandon Aiyuk trade.
Woo! Hopefully. Thanks.
We'll see you.
Bye. Peace.